Three monks are meditating in a cave, and they hear a sound outside. 6 months goes by, and one of them says, "Did you hear that mule?" After 6 months of silence, another one says, "That wasn't a mule, it was a goat." 6 months later, the third monk goes, "If you two don't stop arguing, I'm out of here." Who's right? Who knows? Who cares? Most people believe that as humans, after we die, our soul continues on after our body's dead. This soul is who we really are. We are all spiritual beings here on this earth having a human experience together. But what happens when our souls decide to manifest in this dense human form is that we are no longer able to see the big picture. Our perception becomes limited. It's like we're in a fog and we can only see so much. Yogis call this phenomenon the veil of Maya, or the veil of delusion. Now, you might call yourself a respectable Republican, or a diligent Democrat, or a incorrigible independent, but that's not who you really are. Those are just labels that you use to help identify what types of opinions you relate to the most easily. Here's an example. Suppose a boy was murdered, his innocent life stolen by the willful act of another. Would you want the murderer to be caught and punished? Maybe you want to celebrate. Boys are trouble after all. Suppose God had come down and given the assignment to some libertarian. Suppose the murderer was the boy's developmentally disabled sister. Would you still want a harsh punishment? What if the year was 1902 and the boy's name was Adolf Hitler? Did your opinion change as you learned more of the truth? This helps to illustrate the idea of the veil of Maya. It's hard to form a good opinion until you have all of the information. And our opinions become clouded by our lifetime of experiences, and the more we invest in our stories, the harder it is to remember that there's a big picture out there. You probably know the story of the girl who wanted a horse, but her family didn't have the money to afford it. And it was sad. And then one day she's walking through the woods. She comes across a horse and befriends it and brings it home. And this was great. And then one night the horse ran away. It was sad. But then the horse came back with friends. Now the girl has 3 horses. This is great. Then the girl fell off the horse and broke her arm. This was sad. This helps illustrate that we always are limited in the amount of information we see. It's hard to form a good opinion of good and bad. We never know if an event is going to lead to more peace in the world or more suffering in the world. It's hard to know if we're seeing clear through this veil of Maya, this illusion. My friend CH says, "I have years invested in my opinions. I do not want to change them easily. I like to filter out the information whether it supports my opinion or not. Someone brings me information, if it supports my opinion, I say, yes, that makes sense. I will keep that. Someone brings me information trying to contradict my opinion, there is probably something wrong with their interpretation." One of the cool things about the modern age and the internet is we can find facts to support any side of any opinion on any issue that we want. We can find facts: should I buy gold? Should I eat bacteria? Should I wear Nike? We can find debates on how do nonprofits stay unprofitable? Is it by throwing bigger holiday parties? We can even find debates on the age-old adage, If a stealth bomber falls in the forest, does it make a sound? I find that opinions are a lot like kids. They're easy to make, they stick around for a while, they mature and start to take on their own personalities. I look at them and say, I know I made you, but I can't quite explain how you turned out this way. There is one difference between opinions and children, that opinions, unlike children, are something we always have the power to change. I look at some of my opinions and say, you need to move out and be on your own and see a therapist. Madam Toastmaster.